Hello everyone and welcome back to another YouTube video. Today I want to show how I coded my AI for my zombies. So I have a node that pretty much holds all the states for my zombie. If I look inside, I have 4 states. I've got a death state, a status effect state, an attack state, and a chase state. I've called them actions here. Pretty much what I'm using is called an action list. Now, why I'm using an action list over a state machine is because an action list is more easier to make, and I can quickly make what state I want really quickly. Now, let me show you this zombie in action. Let me start the game. So I've got a pistol in my hand. I'm going to spawn a zombie by pressing T. I spawned a few zombies here. As you see, they automatically go into this chase state. And if I shoot at them, I also have a status effect state. So where they become confused, they stop moving. They just become confused. There's also another state, the dead state, where they just die when their HP reaches 0. That's good. One bit more, I'll show you more. It works. So let's check the action list. So this is a manager class. This is for specifically this zombie, and we create an action list. Pretty much, it's a custom class that holds all the actions. And then in the ready function, I create the actions I want. So I want to have the dead action, status effect action, attack action, and chase action. Then I add it to the action list, and then in the physics process, I update. In the actions list, there's an update function that updates pretty much all the actions. So if we go and check the action list, we have an array of actions for storing all the actions. And then when we create the action, we have to get actually the character body 2D, what we want to interact with. It would be the zombie. Go back here, we see I set it to the entity, which is the zombie. So inside this class, when we add the action, we add it to the array, actions array. Then I sort the actions based on the priority. So here it is, the sort function. So we check lowest priority gets lower, and the highest priority gets in the end of the array. And then the update function. So we have blocking lanes. This is what stops further actions from continuing. For example, here, the dead action should always go first. The enemy should die first. For example, so say we're chasing, and somehow chasing is blocking the dead action, dead will never actually happen. The enemy will never die. It would be an issue. That's one of the disadvantages of using the action list. The lower priority the action is, the better it is functioning. Yes. What else? So we clear the lanes, blocking lanes. Then we check if the action we are currently calling. So we loop through all the actions in the array. We check if the action is blocked. If it's not blocked, we check if we can execute. If we can execute the action, we execute it. And we also check if the action is blocking. If the action is blocking, we add the blockers from the action into the blockers list. That way, if an action is blocking, we're blocking a specific action, we don't continue anymore. Now, how does that look like? So this is a boilerplate action class. So we have like the action name is blocking, action lane, priority, and blockers. And pretty much we create all of this in the init function. That's why I put it here. And in the can execute function, we check if something can do something. For example, if this is like, say, it's close to the enemy or the player, that means we can attack. Then we execute the attack function. Let me show the attack function. So here it is. Set all the stuff here. can also have extra variable if you want for the specific action, because on the cooldown, the tag rate. So for me, I've decided that this attack function should block other attack. So if I had another attack and it was before this one, say the priority was less than 3, or whatever I've chosen, it would block that attack from happening. So you see in this can execute function, I am checking if the zombie is at a distance. If it's at a distance or closer distance, I return true. But yeah, obviously, if a player has 0 health, I return true. False means we can't attack. So when we return true, it means we can attack. Then we execute it. So I put aside to play an idle animation, and then I check the cooldown of the thing and check if it's less than 0. And if it is, I play a slash effect and then check if we can attack the player and then reset the cooldown. Else we just reduce the cooldown by delta time. That's pretty much it. So we have all the actions here. Chase action as well. Same thing. We check if the distance is greater than 25. If it is, we return true. And we start moving and chasing. So another thing we should know is the blockers, how blockers work. So currently this is a status of action, which has 0 blockers at the moment. And it check pretty much if the zombie has a status effect, we return true. And then we execute the status effect. So I check which status effect we have. We have a confusion. I check if we have the movement blocker. If we don't have a movement blocker, I add it and also add the attack. So we stop attacking and movement. Now, if I decided to move this to last and this to second, so we chase and the status effect comes last. Remember, the status effect blocks movement, and a chase is a movement blocker, the movement action. So if I now play the game, show you, if I shoot, it's moving. It's not supposed to be moving, but it's moving. This is because the action is last, and thus it doesn't block it, because it's happening now. So this happens, so it goes 0, well this should be 1. It goes 0, 1, 2, and 3. And that means that this is not blocking any next future action. That's how it works. I think that's it, yes. Thank you for watching the video.